Have you ever wondered what it truly means to have a mind so powerful, so unshakable, that it makes others uneasy, maybe even afraid? Not because you seek to harm, but because your thoughts and decisions carry a weight that commands respect, influence, and even a hint of fear. Imagine walking into a room, and just by the sheer force of your presence and mental clarity, people pause, unsure of what moves you might make next. What if I told you that this kind of mental strength isn't some mystical gift reserved for a chosen few, but a skill you can learn, sharpen, and master? Today, we're diving deep into how to build a mind so strong it terrifies people, inspired by the timeless insights of Machiavelli, the man who understood power, strategy, and human nature like few others in history. Machiavelli wasn't just a thinker, he was a strategist who dissected the fragile threads of power and control, revealing the hidden rules that govern influence. His name often brings to mind cunning and manipulation, but beneath that lies a profound lesson. True mental strength comes from mastering yourself and understanding the world around you so thoroughly that uncertainty melts away. But how do you get there? How do you transform from being reactive to becoming an unshakable force, someone whose mind is a fortress, not easily penetrated by doubt, fear, or external pressure? In this video, we'll explore the exact steps to cultivate this kind of mental resilience. We'll uncover practical strategies backed by the wisdom Machiavelli left behind that you can apply to your own life starting today. From mastering your emotions to seeing through the masks people wear to crafting a mindset that thrives amid chaos, this journey is not for the faint-hearted. It demands courage, persistence, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about yourself and the world. But the reward? A mind so strong it terrifies, not because it threatens others with violence or cruelty, but because it commands a presence that cannot be ignored. This story isn't just about power, it's about survival in a world that constantly challenges your beliefs, your willpower, and your sense of control. It's about stepping into a role where fear no longer controls your actions and where you become the calm in the storm, the one who sees clearly when others are blinded by confusion or emotion. You'll meet the ideas that have shaped leaders, warriors, and visionaries throughout history, ideas that Machiavelli crystallized with brutal honesty and strategic clarity. But beware, this path is riddled with moments where you'll question your own limits, where the line between strength and coldness blurs, and where your choices might unsettle even those closest to you. That tension, that unresolved battle within your own mind, is where true power is born. And as we move forward, you'll begin to see how to harness this tension to your advantage, how to turn fear into respect and chaos into opportunity. So, are you ready to unlock the secrets of a mind so strong it terrifies people? To step beyond fear and doubt and into a version of yourself that commands the room without uttering a word? The journey begins now, but what you'll discover next may challenge everything you thought you knew about strength, control, and influence. Stay with me, because the truth behind building an unbreakable mind is far more powerful and far more surprising than you could ever imagine. To understand what it truly takes to build this kind of mind, we need to look beyond the surface of everyday strength. Mental toughness isn't about simply pushing through challenges or ignoring your fears. It's about developing an awareness so sharp that nothing can shake your inner balance. Not criticism, not failure, not even the chaos of the world around you. Machiavelli knew this well. He observed how leaders who lacked this depth of insight crumbled when faced with unexpected threats or betrayal. But those who mastered their own minds became untouchable forces, capable of turning obstacles into stepping stones. This isn't just ancient philosophy or dusty history. The core of this mindset is more relevant now than ever. In a world that's fast, unpredictable, and often unfair, the ability to hold steady amid the storm is a rare gift. People who live with constant distractions and pressure often lose sight of their own power. They get caught up in what others think, in fleeting emotions, or in trying to control things they simply can't. But the strongest minds? They've learned to control themselves first, to see clearly what's worth their attention, and to let go of everything else. But how do you even begin that process? Where does someone start when they want to build a mind that commands respect, that others instinctively sense is not to be messed with? It begins with recognizing the invisible battles we fight every day, the doubts that whisper, the fears that grip silently, and the voices that try to pull us off course. Machiavelli taught that power is as much about psychology as it is about action. To build a mind so strong it terrifies, you have to learn the art of mental discipline, the ability to stay calm when others panic, to think several steps ahead when others react blindly. Yet, there's a darker side to this kind of strength. It isn't just about confidence and clarity. Sometimes it means making choices that unsettle those around you. Because when your mind no longer plays by the usual rules, when you start seeing the world through a lens of strategic thinking and unshakable focus, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability breeds fear. This fear, however, is not something you aim to create by intimidation or cruelty. It comes from a place of deep control, a power over yourself so profound that others feel the weight of your presence without fully understanding why. As we go deeper into this journey, you'll see that this power is not a destination, but a constant challenge, a delicate balance between strength and vulnerability, between wisdom and ruthlessness. And it's that very tension, that unresolved conflict within the mind, that holds the secret to becoming truly unstoppable. The struggle to build such a mind is not just a personal battle. It's one that plays out in relationships, in work, and in every interaction where power and influence come into play. Imagine trying to maintain your calm and clarity when those around you are desperate to see you falter. Friends, colleagues, even family members may unconsciously test your limits, pushing buttons to see if your mental fortress will crack. Machiavelli understood this well. He knew that the strongest minds face resistance not only from external enemies, but from those closest to them, who fear the change a powerful mind can bring. At the same time, there's a conflict within yourself that's harder to face. The pull between staying true to your values and the cold calculations the world often demands. When you learn to think like Machiavelli, you begin to see the necessity of strategy in every move, of hiding your true intentions behind a mask of calm. But this can feel isolating. The more you build that unbreakable mind, the more you risk becoming misunderstood, even feared by those who once knew the real you. This inner conflict, the desire for authenticity clashing with the need for control, creates a tension that constantly threatens to unravel the very strength you're working to build. From another angle, the world itself is a shifting battlefield. New challenges appear every day, unexpected setbacks, betrayals, or changing circumstances that demand quick thinking and mental flexibility. The mind that terrifies is not rigid. It adapts without losing focus, like a river flowing through rocky terrain. Yet, this adaptability is also a source of tension. How do you hold on to your core identity while bending with the winds of change? The fear of losing yourself in the process haunts many on this path. All these conflicts, the push from others, the internal struggle, and the external chaos, form a complex web that tests the limits of your mind's strength. The question remains, can you master these forces and emerge not just stronger but truly unbreakable? Or will the weight of these tensions eventually bring everything crashing down? As the pressure mounts, you find yourself standing at a crossroads, where every decision carries weight beyond what you imagined. The mind you've been forging, the strength you've been cultivating, is now being tested in ways that go beyond theory or quiet reflection. It's in these moments, when the stakes are highest, that the real challenge reveals itself. The whispers of doubt grow louder, the tension between control and vulnerability tightens like a coil ready to snap. People begin to watch you closely, some admiring, others wary, sensing that the calm you wear is not just confidence, it's power that unsettles them. The internal battle reaches a fever pitch. You're forced to confront the parts of yourself you've tried to keep buried, the fears of failure, of losing control, of becoming someone unrecognizable. But with every flicker of doubt, you remind yourself why this path matters. To build a mind so strong it terrifies means mastering not just the world around you, but the storm inside. Yet, the harder you grip, the more you realize that strength isn't about holding on tightly. It's about knowing when to bend without breaking, when to strike, and when to wait. Outside, the world continues to shift unpredictably. Allies may turn into challengers overnight, and enemies might reveal unexpected openings. The mental clarity you once took for granted feels fragile now, stretched thin by the demands of strategy and survival. Each choice feels like a step on a razor's edge, where one misstep could unravel everything you've built. And just when it seems the tension can't rise any higher, when every nerve is taut and every thought races against the clock, the moment approaches, the moment where all these conflicts collide. The world waits to see if you will crumble under the weight or rise above, forging a mind that is truly unstoppable. But that moment, that defining test, is still just out of reach, leaving the question hanging: how will you face what comes next? Just as you brace yourself for the coming storm, something unexpected shifts the entire game. The world you thought you understood, the carefully measured balance of power and control, suddenly twists in a way that no strategy could have predicted. The people you trusted begin to act in unfamiliar ways. Hidden motives come to light, and the very foundations of your mental fortress feel shaken. Machiavelli's lessons warned that power is never static, but even he could not have foreseen how quickly the ground beneath your feet would tremble. Now, the real test isn't just about strength or clarity, it's about surviving a betrayal so close it cuts deeper than any external threat. This second twist throws everything into sharp relief. The inner conflict you've battled, the tension between authenticity and strategy, deepens as you realize that the masks you wear, once tools of control, might also be barriers that isolate you. Suddenly the question isn't only how to build a mind so strong it terrifies, but how to navigate a world where nothing and no one is quite what it seems. Every move now carries hidden consequences, every word weighs heavier, and the uncertainty grows. The mind that once saw several steps ahead now struggles to see even the next move clearly. Meanwhile, the external chaos intensifies. Challenges come faster, sharper, like a storm gaining force. Allies turn into rivals with a glance, and the lines between friend and foe blur. You're forced to rethink everything, your assumptions, your strategies, your very definition of strength. In this shifting landscape, the mental toughness that once felt like armor now feels more like a delicate dance, balancing between power and vulnerability, trust and suspicion. This escalation raises the stakes beyond anything you imagined. The fear that others felt around you now mirrors the fear rising inside. But it's a different kind of fear, the kind that fuels a deeper transformation. The mind that terrifies isn't built on certainty or control alone. It's forged in the crucible of chaos, in moments where the old rules no longer apply and new ones must be invented on the fly. The real challenge becomes clear. Can you evolve fast enough to not only survive this twist, but use it to become stronger, smarter, and more unbreakable than ever before? As the tension tightens and the story hurtles toward its climax, one question dominates every thought. How will you face this unexpected betrayal, this escalated conflict, and the shadows creeping closer with every step? The answer remains just beyond reach, and the suspense only grows thicker. Just when it feels like the walls are closing in, that the storm you've been bracing for is about to break, something shifts within you. A quiet, unshakable calm that rises from the very core of everything you've built. The betrayal that once seemed like a crushing blow becomes a catalyst, forcing you to see beyond the surface chaos and tap into a deeper well of mental strength. It's in this moment that the true power of a mind so strong it terrifies reveals itself, not through force or domination, but through clarity, resilience, and strategic calm. You realize that the people who tried to undermine you underestimated the depth of your resolve. Instead of reacting impulsively, you lean into the lessons of Machiavelli. Anticipate, adapt, and act with purpose. The internal conflict between control and authenticity reaches a resolution as you embrace both, using your strategic mind while staying true to your values. This balance becomes your greatest weapon. The masks you once wore transform into tools, not barriers, allowing you to navigate the treacherous landscape with confidence and precision. The external chaos starts to unravel as you reclaim control. Allies align around your steady presence, sensing the shift in power. Rivals hesitate, caught off guard by your unexpected calm and calculated moves. You move like a shadow through the battlefield of minds, turning uncertainty into opportunity. The mental toughness that once felt fragile is now unbreakable. But just as the tension seems to ease, a final twist emerges, one that no strategy could predict. The greatest threat was never the betrayal or the external enemies, but the quiet voice inside that questioned everything. The lingering doubt that maybe this strength came at too high a cost. The fear of losing yourself in the very power you sought to command surfaces again, sharper than before. It's a reminder that the journey to build a mind so strong it terrifies is ongoing, a constant dance between power and vulnerability. In this moment of victory, the true challenge begins. The challenge to keep this balance alive, to face new battles without losing sight of who you are. The story ends not with an answer, but with a question. Now that you've built a mind that terrifies, what will you do with that power? As the dust settles from the storm you've weathered, there's a profound realization that strength is not a fixed point. It's a living, breathing force that must be nurtured every day. Building a mind so strong it terrifies is not about becoming invincible or untouchable. It's about embracing the complexities within yourself and the world, learning to move through uncertainty with steady confidence and never losing sight of your true values. The journey you've been on shows that mental strength isn't about suppressing fear or doubt, but mastering them, using those feelings as fuel rather than obstacles. Throughout this story, you've faced challenges from without and within: betrayal, shifting alliances, the tension between control and authenticity. Each conflict revealed a layer of what it means to truly develop an unbreakable mind. And while the battle seemed overwhelming at times, it was those very trials that forged your resilience. The lesson is clear. Real power comes from the balance of strategy and heart, of knowing when to hold firm and when to adapt. The masks you learn to wear are not walls, but bridges, tools to connect your inner strength with the outside world without losing yourself. Machiavelli's wisdom guided you not toward cold manipulation, but toward understanding the subtle art of influence and presence. Your mind has become a fortress built not only on logic and planning, but on self-awareness and emotional insight. Now, as you step forward, the question shifts from "How do I build this mind?" to "What will I do with this strength?" The power to terrify, to command respect, comes with responsibility. It calls for humility, for kindness, and for a commitment to use your mental toughness not just for personal gain, but to inspire and uplift others. The journey is ongoing with new challenges on the horizon, but armed with this strength, you're ready to face whatever comes. Remember, building a mind so strong it terrifies isn't about intimidating others. It's about becoming the calm, unshakable presence in any room. It's about owning your story, standing tall in your truth, and moving through life with a clarity that others can't help but notice. That is the real power, the kind that changes not only your world, but the world around you. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you found value in exploring how to build unstoppable mental strength inspired by Machiavelli, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that unlocks the power within you.